Okay, we are recording. So as you can see, the mannequin is sectioned into the 10 sections. This middle one in the back is the one that we're going to focus on because this is the one that you'll have to roll when you are doing your state board test. So that is the section that on the diagram is number 5. So what you will need for this, you will need your end papers, you will need some perm rods, you will need a rat tail comb, your mannequin with the clips and the sections in, and a squirt bottle. It's important to keep the hair saturated as we work, and it also makes it easier to control. So we've got our section wet down, combed out. I have my perm rods. Now with the end papers, sometimes when we're wrapping, it's difficult, to pick up one end paper at a time because they're slippery. So a little trick that I like to do is I like to put the end papers in my hand, take my comb and twist them with my comb, and it fans out the end papers like this. See how they're like this? Now you can easily grab one at a time by just grabbing the corners. So that's a little trick I like to do. Okay, we're gonna start at the top of this section. I'm gonna take a little slice of hair, and the way you know how big of a section to take depends on the size of the perm rod. When I twist this hair down taut, the end of the perm rod is the width that I'm looking for. So I hold it down and I check to make sure that the section that I took does not exceed the width of this circle on the end of the perm rod. So you're gonna think that these are little bitty sections, and they are. So you take the hair, comb it straight out from the scalp, okay? You wanna make sure you've combed it so that there's no lumps or bumps or loops. Then you're gonna take 2 end papers. I'm holding the hair between my fingers like this. One end paper goes on the bottom, okay? Then I take my thumb and hold it down. I'm holding it secure. Then the other end paper goes on the top, okay? I'm gonna take 2 fingers, secure it, then my thumb and my bottom fingers hold it like this. I've got it nice and taut. I'm holding onto the hair, it's not going anywhere. Now, I'm gonna switch hands because I'm right-handed. So I'm holding it with my left hand now, grab my spray bottle, give it a little squirt. This helps it to stay secure in the paper so you can see it through the paper when I squirt it. Now what I'm gonna do, see if I can show you. I'm gonna slide it down so that the ends disappear. The ends have disappeared into the end wrap. Okay, that's very important because we want those ends to be in between the 2 papers. When we slide it down and the ends go in, then we're ready to roll. I'm gonna take my perm rod, put it underneath the paper. Make sure it's underneath because we're gonna be wrapping down. I push the end of the paper under with my pinky. And then I'm gonna start winding. And it helps if you hold your elbows up. It gives you better tension. You wind it all the way down to the scalp. Then you take your rubber band. Hold on, my thing just came off. Of course. Take your rubber band and you loop it across and hook it, okay? just like that. Now we're going to take another one. Going right underneath the first one with my rat tail comb, I'm going to take a slice. I'm going to hold it out, comb it, get all the loops, all the lumps and bumps out. Take my perm rod, check for width. Make sure it's the right width. Not too big, it's a small slice of hair. Comb it out. I'm going to grab my 2 end papers. Turn so you guys can see. One end paper goes on the bottom. The other end paper goes on the top. I'm grabbing it to switch hands. Spray it. Slide it down so the ends go in. It's important to keep these 2 fingers holding it taut because your ends are going in. You want to control the hair. Now I'm going to put the perm rod underneath, push these papers down, and begin to roll the papers around the rod. Then I start winding it. Yeah.
Nice. My grandma's here to take me to get the kits, so.
Okay, go ahead and you can go ahead and log off, and this will be on here for you to review. Okay, I'll see you up here shortly.
All right. Okay.
All right, we'll do it again. One more. The paper underneath, one on top. Pull it down till the ends go in. Loop it around. Make sure those ends are all the way in the paper, looped around the rod, and begin to wind it. We always are winding down. The direction of the hair is going down around the rod. And fasten it. Take my section, comb it. Grab 2 end papers. One on top, one on bottom. Spray it. Put the rod on the bottom, slide it down. The ends just went in. Push them under and wind it. So the idea is for you to have all your perm rods nice and neat, stacked on top of each other. You want to make sure all of your closures are on the same side. You want to make sure that the ends go fully into the end paper so it doesn't leave any sort of like a kink or a hooked end. And the use of water not only helps you control the hair and control the end paper, but it also acts as a porosity filler for the hair before we put the chemicals on. Okay, so that is the end of my section. Took me about 6 rods. Okay. Now, it looks like it's already 11 o'clock. We will do a relaxer demo next time. I'm going to turn off the recording.